Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe Theodore, and thank you so much for joining me today, tonight, in the morning, whenever you're watching this. So let's continue on with the natal moon series I have going on here. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but now I feel like I'm going in order. So we're at Leo, right? So Leo moon. If you were born with a Leo moon, welcome. If you know any Leo moons, maybe share this with them. And if you are just a Leo placement, generally speaking, this still may resonate with you. But when we discuss the moon, as I say in every one of these videos before I dive into them, the moon is our inner world. It is our inner vibration. It is our inner way we perceive the world. It is our mind. It is our emotions. It is what we need to feel regulated and safe. It is the energy that we need to emit in the world if we wish to feel most expressed, right? And when I say most expressed, that might sound a little weird, I guess. Maybe that came out wrong. But, when you're not emitting your authenticity, right, you're usually suppressing yourself. And you're either repressed in some way, or maybe there's an oppressor in your life, or maybe situations have oppressed you. But the truth is that a moon needs the freedom to express and to have the freedom to have external things in the world, kind of bring what's best for that moon energy back to them. So Leo is all about fire, right? So, and every zodiac sign, moon sign, any sign planet has a shadow to it, right? So when we talk about Leo energy, we're going to talk about how too much fire can be a problem, or how wanting to get involved with things that have too much potency can be a problem for the fire moons. Because sometimes fire moons can go a little too far. Sometimes fire moons can get a little too fired up, right? But at the same time, they need fire in order to thrive. They need environments. They need goals. They need people in their life to keep their fire lit, So Leo, from an archetypal perspective, is all about loyalty, courage, being focused on something that's very important in their life, because it's a fixed fire, meaning it's not, too liberal or too conservative, I guess you can say, if you want to maybe bring some politic analogy into it. But it's very centered. It's like, okay, this is what I believe. This is what I want. It's kind of authoritarian in a weird way, but only because they have the best intentions for belief in what they believe in. So Leo moons, in my opinion, need to express themselves fully. They need to have people and environments in their life where they can be free, where they can maybe even take charge. So Leo moons, I feel, like to be in control of their destiny. I think they like to be in control of their environments. I think they like to be in control of their thinking. They want to participate in things in life that give them the expressive reign to, kind of just go about doing things the way they want to. And I feel like that's a signification of all fire signs, right? Aries wants to go its own way. Leo wants to go its own way, but except Leo is a little bit more structured and disciplined, and kind of wants to land the plane and be on the ground. It wants to be in control. It wants to, take life a little bit more seriously. And I'm not saying Aries moons and Sagittarius moons don't take life seriously, but what I'm saying is that Leo is more like the CEO. It wants to build the company, and it wants to, have people work under it. It wants to build that art career, that they can foresee, the growth and the return on investments of that career potentially be massive. They want to be known for something in the world. Like they love the idea of being known and being on the stage, So innately, that's how they feel. And then again, with more Sagittarius fire, we're dealing with this, boldness to go into the world and learn and seek and to expand one's horizons. But Leo is fixed, which means when Leo has its heart set on something, it will pursue it. It will learn everything it can about it. And as a moon sign, we're talking about the emotional regulation and we're talking about the mind. So a Leo moon is so much better at, I believe, manifesting, their goals and their desires. And I feel like they're better at being loyal. They're innately loyal. They're innately courageous. I feel that there's a fearlessness to them versus like a sun sign Leo, which I feel part of the sun sign journey. Like I've said in one of my recent videos, the sun sign journey is to grow into that energy, because sun Leos typically aren't really courageous. I feel like they have to grow into learning to be that leader. Where a Leo moon, I think, just comes in knowing like, okay, I want to do something. Like I am a leader. Like I want to create my destiny. I want to, take charge of my life. I want to be able to build a life so I can take care of other people. You're innately that friend or that lover that once you fall in love and once you're in a solid relationship with a friend, whatever, even a business endeavor, whatever the case may be, you are all in. Like you are there until something goes wrong and you're deceived. And I also think Leo moons don't have time for bullshit. They don't have time for bullshit. And they could be very rigid in cutting people off if they need to. But compared to an Aries moon, I feel a Leo moon might get hurt. They may come off like, I made the decision, I'm cutting you out. But they're going to feel that pain. They're going to hold on to it even, I think. I think Leo moons hold on to pain. So the shadow side of a Leo moon could be getting too big for their britches, maybe getting a little too egotistical, maybe thinking a little too highly of themselves when really they need to be a little bit more humble, because again, the Leo moon, I don't never want to use the word narcissist, but I feel like a Leo moon can be inclined to maybe have more narcissistic tendencies because of their, flamboyant, light, they're some of them have a very high perception of themselves, like maybe a little too much. Maybe they're not there yet, but they want to show up anyway and come off like they are already established and a professional at something, when in reality they're not a professional yet. They have more years of school to go through. They really need to focus on their career a little bit more, or they may have a little too much pride, and that can come off as not narcissistic. So that's a shadow to worry about for Leo. To be like, check yourself. Are you being is there a little bit too much flamboyance? Is there a little bit too much confidence when it's not? It's like seeing some of those like American Idol contestants that obviously have no skills, but for some reason, no matter how many people tell them they don't, they still think they do. There's like this blind ignorance sometimes to a Leo moon where they think they're great and maybe they're either not, and someone needs to just tell them, hey, listen, like it was a nice fantasy dream, but that's not part of your destiny. So thinking a little too highly of oneself could be a shadow, depending on how that's taken on. Another shadow part of Leo moons, I feel, would be, let's see here. Maybe not being as cautious sometimes as they should. because I think caution is very important. And sometimes when we don't have caution, we get ourselves in trouble. We get burned. And a Leo moon, I think, may need a little lesson here and there on how to proceed with things with caution. Because again, the Leo moon can be so ready to take on the world, but not necessarily see some of the roadblocks that are there, and to not be a little bit, this is where like a Virgo energy would be nice. This is why, I think the Virgo sign actually comes after Leo for this reason, if you ask me metaphysically, because it's like coming from that Leo energy, we need to now analyze, the world. So not being cautious sometimes for Leo energy could be a problem, because it could just be like getting too ahead of itself sometimes. But we have to remember, guys, the moon signs have to do with our mind. So it's how we think, right? It is a natural part of our life. So with our moons, we're going to have a lot of lessons throughout our life, because we don't just come into this world and exist through life with a perfect moon. The moon is our most intimate placement. I would say, because it is our feelings in our mind and how we feel the world, what we need in the world to feel safe. So again, Leo moons, in order to feel safe, in order to feel good, they need moments where they can feel appreciated and accepted and praised. They need to, have a good support system that enjoys their ideas and their perspectives. They want to do things that make them feel energized, and, they are fun. They like fun. They like pleasure. They like light, right? So people that bring light to the world, people that are trying to do things in their life that are good. A Leo moon wants to see people doing well, and they want to be doing well, and they want people to think that they're doing well. So, but throughout our life, the moon sign is a difficult up and down process, because life beats us down, and life is not easy. So a Leo moon needs to understand that there can't be light 24/7, and that's just not reality. And to learn how to channel this energy in places when times are not so great, or when they do get hurt. So it's important to recognize some of the darker things, of course. And I always kind of touch on the darker things in my videos, because I feel a lot of people are ignorant to, the realness of life, especially in the new agey astrology communities. Everyone likes to just focus on the positive and, all the love and the light stuff. And I'm here to tell you that most of the time people are trying to burn down your love and light, and we need to be real with life in order to understand how to operate our moon most effectively, because it's my belief, just like in my classes, link down below if you want to check out some of my pre-recorded classes. I have a beautiful class called Transforming Your Life with Your Moon Sign. And I go into depth about how important it is to regulate and understand your moon energy, so you can participate in the world and make good choices and be involved with the proper environments and people that can help your moon grow, and this, that, and the other thing. So Leo moons, again, we're dealing with a very passionate, fiery sign. But it's a fixed sign, which means out of all the fire signs, you guys have the ability to find like a niche, or find something very significantly focused, and you know how to focus on that one thing and be loyal and passionate to it. So out of all the fire signs, I love Leo energy, especially for moons, because they can find balance and centeredness easier than, I think, Sagittarius or Aries. So there is an innate structure to you, just like Taurus. Like Taurus knows how to just be grounded and centered. The problem with Leo, though, is it's fire, so it can go all over the place. It can be a little too energetic, and it needs to be contained sometimes. And that goes with our overstimulation in the world. Like, you don't want to have too much Leo craziness, fun, pleasure, excitement, so many events going on in a day, too many ideas and goals and dreams. You need to find ways to narrow that box down so you can really channel your energy into something amazing. Or dealing with certain groups of people that are going to be loyal to you and supportive of you, not just running around with the crowd and wanting to know everyone and everything, which is kind of like the detriment of like a Gemini moon. So anyway, guys, I'm going to stop the video there. I want to start making these moon videos a little bit shorter. I know I've rambled on 20 minutes plus in some of these videos. To be quite honest, I've really just touched the surface with Leo moons. I can obviously ramble and make more analogies and talk more about this. But I hope this just gave you a quick little insight, into this potentially. So once again, if you're interested more about the moon, check out my classes I have below. I run a teaching portal out of my Patreon. You don't need to be a member to purchase my classes. They're affordable classes, running 90 minutes plus. I just released a masterclass as well if you're interested in any sort of, psycho-spiritual, teachings, including the astrology. But, so there's a 6-hour masterclass I just launched on there. Plus a lot of new classes coming out where I'm diving into retrograde planets. So I have Mars, Mercury, and Venus already up. And in the coming year and a half, we're going to have a Mars, Venus, and 3 Mercury retrogrades that are all going to be very profound for the year to come, 2024, the end of 2024 and in 2025. So if you want to know anything about Mercury, Mars, and Venus retrogrades and how they're going to affect your life, check out my teaching portal, guys. And of course, if you would like to book a reading with me, please visit my website. You can contact me directly through a personal email, and we literally will email back and forth, super personable, and we'll set up a date and time, and we will, we can have a beautiful time together, so just go to my website. You can read just the quick, brief way to contact me, and we'll set it up, So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. Hope this was informative, and I'll see you next time.